On AMC's hit TV show Mad Men, Don Draper and company attempt to create these for their clients. But in the government, there are branches aimed solely at destroying them. It is every businessman's dream to have one, but it is one of the hardest things in business to create. Monopolies do exist in the world, but various antitrust laws in the West have virtually made them unattainable. A monopoly is defined as a market structure where one firm constitutes an industry and where no close substitutes exist for consumers. The goal of a monopoly is control over the price, but if the good or service is not a necessity, supply and demand still comes into play. Although it may seem like monopolies are a pretty uniform thing, there are a few types of them that exist in the world today. One of the instances of monopolies most prevalent in our society today are natural monopolies. Natural monopolies are monopolies where the industry performs best under the mechanism of monopoly. Examples of this include water, power, sanitation, and many others, especially in city services. Another common type of legal monopoly in our society today would be patents. A person can claim supreme ownership of their invention for 20 years by getting a patent down at the patent office. However, this has come under fire when pharmaceutical companies have withheld their medicine from poor families because of the steep price they charge due to lack of competition. In order to combat monopolies and their tendency for charging exorbitant prices for necessary goods, the government has set up various antitrust laws in an effort to stop monopolies in these industries. In monopolies and oligopolies, economists use a tool known as the Herfindahl Index to determine whether an industry is becoming dangerously monopolistic. The Herfindahl Index is the sum of the concentrated power generated by shares in the market and is represented by the formula A squared plus B squared plus C squared, and so on until all the companies are represented. The values of the variables can range up to 100. Using this formula, economists can determine which type of industry it is and its interest in pursuing antitrust laws. If the final number is less than 100, it is nearly perfect competition. Below 1500 is also a sign that there is adequate competition in an industry. When the result is between 1500 and 2500, the government begins to keep an eye on the industry and might prevent mergers from industries within this range to go through. Above 2500 is what the government might call a danger zone because price control is through a few companies in an industry. Some notable companies to experience antitrust problems are Microsoft, Rockefeller, Standard Oil, which is now ExxonMobil, Amoco, and Chevron, and most recently, the NFL. Monopolies do exist in the world, but unfortunately for the Gordon Geckos of the world, they are hard to come by because of their various antitrust laws.